Well, hey boys and girls, I'm back on YouTube. I started it a little earlier than the minute because there is a delay on it, but I guess not because I got the ultra low latency on it, trying to keep things like if you're typing, I'll be able to see it right away and answer your questions right away. So I've kind of given up on the Twitch because that's one's very hard to get people to watch what you're doing, and we have a whole community here, so we're back on the YouTube. We're going to give up on the Twitch and do all our live streams and post our videos over here. You can't post videos on Twitch anyhow, so. But anyway, today we're going to be working on this guy, the Sotar 2020, to get it up and running, and I'll explain more about that in a second once we get over to the Workbench. So I think I've figured out, hey, what's going on, buddy? I think I figured out what the problem with the autofocus was. My mat has paint all over it, plus, hey, what's going on, Bob? Plus all the grid lines that would keep autofocusing and autofocusing. So I flipped it over to just green, and it looks like that's working. What's going on, Eric? I did another thing. You can see the chat is actually popping up next to me because the chat doesn't show when you rebroadcast the video, so this way everybody could see who was here and all your messages and stuff stayed, so you're kind of part of the stream forever, because I don't think the chat comes back up or not, so I wanted your stuff to be there too. This way we could all have fun and see what we're doing. The other two things underneath me are actually a subscriber bar. Most people here are going to be subscribed, but it'll it has goals for like the month to try to get 10 new subscribers, and the other one's a donation bar, which I don't expect anybody to donate, but it's a thing there to put up there. This way, if we do get donations, it goes right back into the websites, contests, giveaways, awards, and all sorts of stuff. So that's what that's for, but I don't expect anybody to give. It's just there if anybody ever wanted to. I wish I could have made Wonderfest. Our friend Interstellar Modeler, told me I have to make it next year, so I'll be making plans to get there next year and check out the show. I've never been there before, so it should be pretty cool to see everybody over there. Plus, I want to find out, I think it's in Louisville or something like that. If it is, that's kind of far, but I'd like to hit Fort Campbell again because that's where I was in the Army. So if I'm going to Kentucky, I want to go check out my old base and see what's going on over there. So yeah, Louisville is, I got to see how far away that is from Fort Campbell. It's probably quite a bit away, but I might hit that on the way back then. So we will stop babbling. If you hear noise in the background, it's because everybody's home right now and I can't tell them to shut off the TV. Everybody knows my little corner over here. Plus my phone is going off. Let me shut the volume off on that so that doesn't mess with us. And where is the volume? There's the ringtone. Let's get ringtone down. Notifications off. And onto the live stream. Yeah, if I go over, I drive everywhere, so it's a 12-hour drive. I used to drive back and forth from Tennessee to Kentucky all the time, so that's no big deal. I'll be on the 28th. I'll be driving down to Florida too. Go visit the mom and dad. So hopefully everything goes well. So far the live stream health is good and all that other stuff. I freed up space on the computer. I got all windows shut down because I don't want to miss anything. So let's jump over to the Workbench over here. And look, it actually has a little thing down there to tell us how many people are watching, and above my screen will be the chat box too, so I can see the chat while I'm doing stuff. And then we have our sponsor, Green Strawberry, onto there. If you haven't checked out Green Strawberry yet, go check them out. They got a lot of good stuff. So this is the Sotar 2020 from Badger. This is the ultrafine detail brush. I have the chrome. This is the chrome detail brush with the backstop. This way you can hit all the same lines. And I also have the Badger. As you can tell, I like Badger. I have the Badger Patriot 105. This is the workhorse one. But this one here, the Sotar, I don't know, a lot of you might know him, Marc. He was having trouble with the Sotar with the color cup bubbling up while he was spraying. So he couldn't figure out what was going on, so he sent it over to me, and we're going to break this guy down. Hopefully the autofocus doesn't go crazy. Usually it goes really crazy, at least it's good right now, but he sent it over to me because he couldn't figure out why it was doing what it was doing. So we're going to play with this guy. I'm going to break it down, and then we'll see. It shouldn't be dirty. He said he cleaned it up before he sent it over here. We may run it through the ultrasonic cleaner just to try to get anything out of there that's in there, and then we will, you know, clean it up and stuff. Excuse me while I bring this camera down a little more. This way we can get a better view of stuff, and hopefully not crooked. Let's bring that there. This way it's a little closer, and you can see that a lot better than where it was. I just got to be mindful of where this is. And actually, I'm running a program now, and I just have to figure it out. Hey Eric, what's going on? And there's Mark. Yes, you do know that brush. This is your brush. But I did the program I'm using actually to run in conjunction with YouTube. I got to figure out how to do it, but there's an alert. A lot of the things you can put an exclamation point and a word behind it, and it'll throw an alert. And I got to set up the alert so that anybody can just put the exclamation point and a certain word, and it'll give me a notification that I went like this, I'm off screen, and you can't see what I'm doing. So I want to set that up. This way we always, you know, keep me focused in the middle of what we're doing. So anyway, this is the airbrush. Comes with the 2 needles. This is the extra head for it. It's got the prongs on the side for protection of the needle, and because this one isn't on, the open one is on there, a little wrench and an Allen key. So let's begin to play with this thing, and eventually we'll get paint in it and see if we can get it working. Now let's get oh boy, now I'm off camera. There we go. We got that sucker off of there. So we're gonna break this guy totally down. Mark, were you using, I don't know, hopefully you can see in there. You didn't, was the color cup always like that at the bottom, or was the whole thing black? Because the black has come off. I don't know if, because usually that happens. I don't know if you used Windex with ammonia or anything like that, but if anybody has the Badgers, or any airbrush basically that's the chrome plated or the nickel plated or with the black, if you're cleaning out your airbrush, okay, so then they left that done like that. But if you're cleaning out your airbrush with Windex, make sure you're using Windex that is ammonia free, because the ammonia will pull off the plating. I think I did it to this one. You could always send it back to Badger. No, I didn't do it with that one. I had another airbrush where I did it. I didn't know the ammonia will pull it off, but it will pull it off. So we're going to break this all down, and we'll see what we got going on. There's a very nice needle over there, and as you can see, this one's the open tip, and this thing is very fine. Oh man. All right, that is locked on there pretty good. I'm not going to get that off with my fingers. So we're going to have to get a little creative with this guy here. With your Badger airbrushes, there's no need to crank this part, the airflow part, onto here. It just has to be hand tightened. Also with this part here, this doesn't have to be cranked down either. This just has to be hand tightened also, and you're good to go. Especially on the Sotar, they redid the design. This way you only have to go hand tighten. I have no problem with just hand tight on the chrome or the Patriot. You can use beeswax or tape on that if you want to get it, you know, if you think you're having a bad air seal. Actually, I'm going to have to do that because that's where the wrench fits around. So now I got to be really careful because I don't want to break any of that. Okay, so that was too tight. Don't need it that tight, and we don't want to lose that. That is, I don't know if you're able to see it, that's where the needle goes through. That thing is really, really tiny, and you don't want to lose that guy. So we're definitely gonna figure out what the heck is going on with this, why it was bubbling up on Mark. The only thing that you want to tighten, not like crazy tighten, is the part where you're going to put your air hose, the air valve right here. You can tighten that one up a little bit more than last paint you tried was all clad. Okay. I don't see any paint in there. There's a couple spots, but that's no big deal. That's always on there. So we'll take out the needle. This here, back here, if you don't have a Badger Sotar or a chrome, they're made with a special chuck back here that you can adjust. This way when you're painting, you're always gonna hit that same exact line that you had before. The Patriot 105, I can't do that. So if I'm making a thin line, we all know that we're gonna misadjust anytime we're painting. So it's good for detail, especially the chrome. The chrome can do both. The chrome is pretty much a high-end Patriot 105. It could do the workhorse part, plus it has the ultra fine knob right there where you can do that. So next up is to get this guy out. Okay, now that's on there tight too. What's happening right now, this is the chuck to take the to loosen up from the needle and pull the needle out, but what it's doing right now, in here is the holder that the needle goes through, and it's actually stuck on there, and it's not coming off. It's trying to take the whole thing out instead of just letting me loosen it up and pull that out. So I'm gonna have to see, without damaging anything, if I can hold on to that. All right, this is gonna be dangerous now because I don't want to ruin the threads, and I need to hold this though. There we go. All right, now that's unlocked, and I should be able to get the needle out. Needle's not bent or anything. Needle's fine. That's fine. This part doesn't come out. This is just going to go back and forth. And if you feel like this is getting tight on you, this isn't going to mess with your paint. So you can put a little white lithium grease or something on here, just a little bit. This way it'll slide in and out, no problem. And more breaking down of the airbrush. Oh, they got a different color on there. The worst part for me on the Badgers is the little locking for the trigger. I never put that in right the first time. I should know by now that the bubble always goes towards the back. This way it pushes this back to bring the needle back. So we got our parts here. We got that there. We got that there. And we got this guy here. We'll take this guy off. When we clean it in the ultrasonic cleaner, if you're going to use one, or even if you're going to soak it in lacquer thinner, then I do that sometimes. You want to take the air valve out because lacquer thinner will ruin it. You don't want the lacquer thinner getting in the air valve. And I found that out the hard way because with my Crescendo, I didn't know why this wasn't working, and then it finally dawned on me. I was just submerging the whole thing in. This has a little O-ring in here and it'll melt it. Then you got the little handle on here, which is optional if you want to use it or not, depending on, you could take it off and see how it feels in your hands without it. I just leave it on. Looking nice and clean down there. Then we'll break it down even further. You got your lock nut. This here, this one is what holds your pin in. Your needle in. It'll lock it in place. And then this one is your adjustment knob for this to come back and forth. I'm pretty sure it is. You can tighten this one all the way up. I usually have mine all the way down, not all the way back out, but that's a preference. I forgot exactly what it does, but I always keep mine locked all the way in there. So we're going to break this thing down all the way, and there should be a little spring in there. That's the whole airbrush. The most important thing is not to lose this little guy. That's going to be a pain in the neck to clean if there is anything stuck in there, which I highly doubt. I think the bubbling was probably just the seating of these two parts. Could have been over tightened, and closing this guy off and letting the air flow back up into the cup instead of letting the air go forward. But we're going to find out. So I am going to run it through the ultrasonic cleaner just to make sure everything's crystal clear before we start doing anything and putting everything back together. The mess. Actually, this is what I was going to give right now. This is what I'm giving away for Christmas this year. And you can see it's nice and dusty because I haven't used it in a while. Either thinking of giving away these this year, ultrasonic cleaners. And if you're new here and don't know, if you go to HobbyLink International, that's our site. We have our community there. And every year we have the Christmas giveaway, and the August I'll be talking about the Halloween build, and we have Madi, which I got to do Tuesday night. We'll have a live video talking about Madi and showing off the people that are in it right now. So let me get this sucker set up. Where's somebody got a headache? Ah. Okay, I don't need this guy. You can leave the basket in. Ooh. That's a bigger needle than my other ones. All right. That's what she said. Ha ha ha. Okay. I'm not going to be able to use this needle like that. You want to be careful with putting this stuff on the inside because you don't want anything to get ruined because of the ultrasonic cleaning. I'll just toss it all in here. They say not to use alcohol and stuff in here because you can start a fire, so I haven't used that. I have used it to clean, whatchamacallit, paint off of models. Anything else back here? I know there's more stuff. More stuff. I'll make sure that this is all in here. And it gets, hey, you see what I did? Not paying attention? I almost put the valve. In there. And that would have been bad. That can stay on the side, that can stay on the side, that can stay on the side. And which one is this? Method glass cleaner natural with ammonia free. This is the one we want, ammonia free. So we're just going to run it through 2-3 times, probably twice. This one's funny because this one is natural based. They use actually plants. And actually, I'm sorry. See, I wish I had the thing where you could have seen what I was doing. I was off screen there. I just plopped everything in here. I hope you've seen me taking it apart. So this should end up still being clean because Marc has the brush really nice and clean, but this is just extra precaution to make sure that if there is anything else in there, we'll get it out. And it's on high. I want it. There we go. 300. So this is going to be it's going to be a little noisy while it does its thing. So it's the highest one is 300 seconds. So we'll probably just run it through twice. I could actually leave that open. So I don't see anything. Actually, there's a little residue coming out of the back here. You can tell it's really clean because it's very little. And then we'll flip this guy around on his other side to make sure everything gets cleaned. Now, let me grab this. And a lot of people say don't use the kitty pipe filters. I use them anyhow. You just got to be careful and look and see there's no little fuzzies left in your airbrush. Oh, we got 7 people here. That's good. Damn, we've been on for 22 minutes already? Holy cow. Time flies when you're cleaning an airbrush. Let me just grab. Don't be a wise guy. I'll tell everybody how old you are. My mother-in-law is being a wise guy. All right, hold on. Let me just grab. Gotta grab paper towels. This way I can just dry this off and clean it up. Yeah, absolutely. So while this is cleaning for another 211 seconds, if anybody's got any questions or anything like that, or want to chat about anything while we're waiting on this to clean up. Actually, when I flip that over, I may just do it the one time because nothing's coming off. It's really, really clean, and then we'll get something out to paint. We'll figure out what paint we're going to use and test it out, see if we could get it not to bubble. Bubbling is a bad thing. Just usually, like I said, it means an air's getting back up into your cup. And the good thing with Badger, if you have any problems with it, like the coating coming off, or you know, you're missing pieces, or you just want it really, really clean, you can send it back to Badger. There's a limited lifetime warranty on it. They won't, you know, if you broke parts and stuff like that, obviously they charge you for the parts, but you could ship it back, and they really take care of the airbrushes. It does take a while though for you to get stuff from them, just because they are ultra busy, especially now. There's a lot of cons and stuff going on. There you go. See, that's why nothing's coming off here. You ran it through a bunch of times, so it's good. Yeah, it is nothing here. There was just a little bit of one little poof, and that was it. So, but it's always good to make sure. Just run it through here again, and then we'll get it all, you know, dried up, put back together, and we'll see if we can stop the bubbling. Hopefully. I haven't noticed if the chat is actually working up above my little camera on the bottom there. That's all right. We have 100 seconds left of cleaning, and then we'll dry it up. I'll get out probably, actually, while I'm waiting. Got. Oh, that's a wash. That's game air. That's model air. I don't want to run a metallic through it. Where is mine? Do I have my... Ooh, I thought I knocked something down. Do I have my MIG black paint down here? Oh, that's wash. Where is my MIG black paint? Where? Wash. Blue. Where is my matte black? There we go. There we go. That's what we use, because MIG, you don't have to. Hey, Ken. Giggity. How to do windows, like windows for a starship? I'm using the MIG because this, you don't have to thin, and it's excellent paint, so I don't have to worry about thinning it. If you're talking about like Starship, hey, there it goes. That's done, finally going. But if you're talking about Starship windows, what I do is cut out the windows, and I use this stuff. Ooh, I'm knocking stuff down. I use the Easy Flow polymer clear powder. Hopefully you can see that on there. Hopefully it focuses in. But this is just a powder. Acrylic powder, which I don't want to get in there. So you put that on. You can do it in thin, not ultra thin layers, but you put that powder on, and then you use this stuff, Attraction Nail Liquid. You can find this stuff on Amazon, and it'll make it too thick, but all clad was water. Yeah, well, we're gonna find out. But you put the, like, say you have trying to think, say like I was doing the Voyager, and you cut out the windows, put a piece of tape behind the window, and then you drop this stuff in there to fill in the window, and then you just put some drops in of this in. It doesn't make it crystal, this stuff doesn't make it crystal clear, but it's clear and it's kind of diffused. This way the lighting comes through, you can see lighting. Unless it's like the Enterprise where you can see the Arboretum, then I don't want anything showing through the windows because there's nothing in there. I'd rather have just the light coming through, but definitely this is a good product to do your clear windows with. If I have to, you know, if you want me to, you know, I'm probably going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to definitely do Tuesday nights for an hour, and then every Saturday that I can, up until I leave for Florida, and then I'll be gone for 5 weeks, and then we'll get back on it. Yeah, I did this on the Kazon Torpedo too, but if you guys want, I can do this. I can set up something just to do some of this tomorrow. I'm running out of this stuff, but if you want, I could show you how to do it. It's very, very simple. Well, like I was saying, Tuesday nights we're going to do a live show for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and that's going to be, if I get products in, we'll do live reviews, kit openings, and stuff like that if we get new stuff in. So, anyways. Yeah, if you guys got questions, just shoot them out there. Okay, the chat is working in there, and I'll look over and hopefully see them and answer your questions. And hopefully we could get more and more people coming to the live things, because the Twitch, Eric Rascal over there, who is Viper on Twitch, was over there with us, and we weren't getting really anybody on the Twitch account, because Twitch is a lot of gamers and it's a lot of mini builders and stuff like that, but it's mostly yeah, that'll work perfect to reduce the glare. It does for it frosts up, so it's like a diffusion sheet, which I don't have. I don't know where my diffusion sheet is, but I don't know if Voodoo Effects still sells it, but if I'll find it and I'll show you the next live stream. They send it with their kits. It's this awesome diffusion sheet that really works. I don't know if he sells it by itself, but if he does, I'll get the link and we'll post that up. Here we go. Let's get to cleaning and sticking my fingers in here. Getting everything all. And the nice thing, after the ultrasonic cleaner, because it does clean it so well, your airbrushes are like super smooth. Gets everything off your fingerprints, dirt, grime, you name it, and it's off of here. But I got to keep remembering to keep my hands underneath the camera so you can see what I'm doing. My wife and mother-in-law are in the background, watching their TV and praying that I end soon, but we're not. We're streaming all night long.
Yeah, right.
Streaming with the boys all night long. We're going to hang out, we're going to have beers and pizza, and we're just going to stream model stuff. You know you like the model stuff. Dun, dun, dun. Get this all cleaned out. Pizza. Yeah, pizza I'm in. Real pizza, though. Not Domino's. Real pizza. Speaking of pizza, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Whatever you make.
I'm not making anything because I'm streaming with the boys. Make sure you clean in here, too, because this does get dirty, because you got to remember your needle's in here, and sometimes, not all the time, but it will pull. You know, you're not pulling that far back, but sometimes you'll get paint in there, so you want to make sure you got that off. And I don't know what that is on the needle. It's off now, whatever was on the needle. Now hopefully I'm staying. Good thing you have an easy work day. I always forget that you guys are, you know, different coasts and all that other stuff. What is it? Let's see, it's 6:26, so it's only 3:27 by Marc, I think. Hey Marc, did they say when the new Seattle team's gonna be playing? I want to check out that team. Next year? Oh, that's quick. That's fast. Another team in the NHL. We're getting there, fellas. We're getting there, and then we'll have the loud air compressor, because that's another thing that I have for 20 plus years is a Badger air compressor. Doesn't have whatchamacallit, a tank on it. It's just constant airflow, and the wife got me that a long time ago when we first started dating. So I had that quite a while. So Badger products are good. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. brand new airbrush. This tells me because I don't have a clue how to clean it until now, and it's a lot, but worth it in the end. Yeah, you definitely should do this. Now you're gonna think I'm crazy, but when you're in between paint sessions, like in between colors, you don't have to break it down. Just flush it through really well. Make sure all the color's out before you move on to the next color. Unless you're doing something like you're going from a dark blue to the same color blue, but just lightening up the shades, then you can just add white in there and lighten it up and keep painting. But at the end of the night, when you're done, you should break your airbrush. You don't have to break this part all the way down, but you should break your airbrush down and clean it and make sure that everything is good to go, because I've done it before where I was tired and I was like, clean it in the morning. And guess what? Next morning the needle is pretty much just glued in there, and then it's a pain in the butt to get everything out and cleaned up. So, and if you do clean it constantly, I don't know what kind of airbrush you have, it'll last you a very, very long time. Even if it's an Iwata or a Grex or something like that, as long as you take care of it and keep it clean, it's gonna last. Like I said, the Badger Crescendo I have, it's actually up in the closet. So we started dating in 97. I guess you got me that airbrush in 98. So 08, 18, 19, it's 21 years old, and only one thing went wrong with it, and that was my fault. So the Badger lasts that long. How Badger stays in business with airbrushes lasting as long as they do, I don't know. They are definitely really good, and you can get their parts pretty easily. Now with these, like I said, these are the kitty ones where they make their giraffes and stuff out of. It will leave sometimes white fluffy things behind. You can get the pipe cleaner ones like this, like for a real pipe, that won't leave it behind. They're a little more expensive. I just make sure that there's nothing in there. Doesn't hurt to blow on it either. But this is good. This is good. Hopefully the audio is okay, because I know the microphone isn't the greatest. I've been looking at a new mic and actually a soundboard. I can see you in there, and that's not. There's something in there, and it's not white. It's not a white fuzzy. So let's see if I can get it out with a toothpick. It's nothing that's going to hamper it. It's just it could actually be a reflection too. There it is. Come on out. I don't know if you can see that. There was a little piece of something in there, but that's nothing that's going to really hamper it. It was just stuck to the sidewall. That's not going to stop anything from flowing, the needle from flowing through there. My hands smell very minty right now because of the stuff I'm using. Constant 8. I like it that you guys are sticking around. Talk amongst yourselves too. You know, the chat box is there. Say hello to each other, make friends, all that good stuff. Now with this, you can. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, how fine the point is on this. So this is one of the most difficult parts to clean up, because this won't fit through here. So I'll just have to get it in as far as I can. It's very clean anyhow. Marc did a really good job of cleaning this up. Like I said, I just threw it through the ultrasonic to make sure that we had nothing left behind. The other thing with airbrushing, if you're new to airbrushing, you're going to get what's called dry tip a lot, especially with the with acrylic paints and certain colors like white. For some reason with me, dry tips out a lot, and I'll show this on another video at some point. I was watching about dry tip on YouTube, and I was watching a guy, and he made this crazy contraption, and I'll show you how this works. It's just 2 toothbrushes together, and with acrylics you can use alcohol, and instead of taking the needle apart or pinching the needle at the front where you can bend a delicate needle like that, you put some alcohol on here and just brush it through. It takes the tip dry off, and you can go right to painting again really fast. Yeah, absolutely. Badger, like I said, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. at this point. I did at one point a long time ago have a sponsorship with them, but not right now, and they are an excellent product. No doubt about it. And I gotta keep this on camera. This is just drying up the parts, so you're not missing anything if I go off camera right now. The last thing is this. Come here, Mr. Spring. Mr. Springy Spring, be careful. You don't want to bend this out of shape. You don't want to stretch it or anything like that, and then you're not going to have the right pull on the handle anymore. Wasn't expecting. We got lots of parts, and I'm leaving the very last tip in there. That'll be the last thing I do, that tiny tip. And it's ridiculous, but I do like how smooth the airbrush feels after you clean it up. You know what's weird, Mark? This looks like, I'm sure it was like this when you got it. That looks like, you know, like the paint is coming off the welds right there. It's not though, it's on there. If you guys have any suggestions or you want to see something in future live videos, I'm going to be doing a lot more live video. Sorry if my head's not in the right position with this camera. I got to do a lot more setting up. Yeah, I'm sure it was like that. It's just weird that it looks like the paint is coming off. Otherwise, it's fine. But if you guys want to see anything specific on a live stream, just let me know. And I'll do my best to do it. You will be seeing, that's not the cutters I want. I don't know if you can see it, and you can't see it right now in the background. I'll show you later. I've been working on the Mobius Frankenstein 1/8 scale, but I'm going to be doing lightning effects for it and sounds, so I'm going to do that live and show you the Arduino board and how it goes together. And I found somebody on YouTube for coding, and I got the code for it, so I'll link that too when we get there. This way, if you want to do it. But yeah, I got to get that sucker done. And one last little piece that I don't want to lose. It's a tiny piece, very tiny. No, it's really clean, Mark. There's no paint in here. I'm thinking that you did have the front two cones very tight, the airflow and the tip protector. Those were very tight, and they didn't need to be that tight. So I don't know if you did that afterwards, after you cleaned it, and it was loose before, but that could have been the problem. But we're gonna find out. If it bubbles up on me, then we got to do a little more searching and see why it's deciding to bubble up. Now, I wish I had a really tiny one of these. I don't have a tiny brush. This is so tiny I can't even get it in there. All right, now I'm gonna put it back together, and then once it's back together, I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna put you into the break screen. This way I can move this stuff out of the way, and we'll set up to do a little painting. But we'll put this back together right now before we do anything. So this is the first nose. This is the little, I know it's really tough, but this is the little piece that the needle slides through. And there are two different, I gotta read the directions. I forgot what the needle sizes are on here, but they can spray very fine. Now this guy just drops in there, and it's supposed to be self-centering, which it looks like it is. I don't think you'll be able to see that. I hope you can, but he's right in the middle there. So he does self-center, and he ends up on the tip over there. If you want, before you put it on the head, you can put this guy on. Just do it carefully, because you don't want to break that little guy in there, and try to hold it down so it stays centered. And that's it. Don't go crazy jacking this guy down or anything like that. You don't need to go super crazy on him. Same thing with this. Then you'll just get this guy on here, hand tight. That's it. Don't go past hand tight. And you could also, once you got this hand tight, give this a little twist, but nothing with flats or anything like that. You don't want to crank it crank it way down there. Next up, we can put the handle back on. These are always a pain in the butt to get on here. There we go. That's the way it goes. I gotta look at the chrome because it's the same handle as the chrome. And that sucker can go on there. This is your air valve. This is the one that you can, if you want to. The little wrench that comes with it doesn't fit on there, so you'd have to get flats or something. This way you can crank it down. But you don't want to crank it down. You just want to give it an extra little push. This way you don't lose any air from the brake right here. Come on, go on there. Okay, that's there. Where are my flats? And I don't over crank it. It's hand tight right now. And that's it. You can feel that extra little tightness right there. Now, next up, what do I want to put together? I want you, I want you, I want you. So this guy will go back in here. Just drop the spring in there. I have to read up again exactly what this does. Like I was telling you before, you can adjust this, and I think it's for the tension of your how you feel your trigger. I tighten mine all the way down. Mine is always tight on all my airbrushes. I don't keep it back. I think it's for trigger feel. This is always the fun one, keeping the shank in there. Hopefully I'm on screen. Put this guy on. Don't tighten it too far down, otherwise you're not going to get your thing in here. But I always make the mistake, don't put your needle in first, because if you put your needle in first, you're not going to be able to put your trigger and the bubble thingy here back. I'm getting close to painting, guys. I just want to make sure everything is good, clean, rebuilt. Come on, sit in there nicely. There we go. And that guy always likes to fall out when you're putting this together. And you'll have to just grab onto this and twist. Like if it comes out, just twist it a little bit and it'll seep back in. Now with the trigger, I always hate this part. I can feel that there. When you're putting the trigger in, see how it has that bubble? Always make sure the bubble, because if you have the gun pointing away from you, have the bubble pointing towards the back of the airbrush. Because what the bubble is doing, it's pushing this back so it can bring the needle back. I don't have it chucked all the way down yet, so it's not going to come out. There we go. And sometimes you got to keep playing with this, see like it came out, just to make sure it's in place. Boom, 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 boom. Get in there. Get in there. Okay, that's in. And that's working back and forth. Then you got this. And I forgot the Sotar is different than the chrome. You don't want to put the needle in yet until you get this guy on here, because the needle actually comes through for quick change. You can quick change on the chrome too, but this one's really quick change. Now be careful. Hopefully I'm in line here. When you're coming through, I know it's perfectly lined up, but you still want to be careful coming through, especially when you start getting to the trigger. See now, where is my? It's in there. Oh, it's probably not going because I have that all the way. I want to see something's stuck right now. Something is stuck. We're going to find out what's stuck. It's a good thing about live videos. You can see what's going on. And I've seen guys do it too without this thing. They airbrush with that. Now, actually that is what this is for. This is the needle. So that little ring there, that's probably what's not letting my needle through. I'm hoping. Otherwise I have to break it back down again and see why it's not pushing through. I could see it in the color cup, but it's deciding it's not wanting to go all the way through. Alright, time to break it down again and find out why this does not want to go through. Airbrushes, so much fun. Alright, come on out. Let's see. Alright. That's fine. I can make it all the way through there. I wonder if... No, I didn't have that the wrong way. Alright, let's take you out. Now to be very careful. Yeah, there's something definitely right there that's blocking it up and not letting it through. Interesting. Never had that problem before. So we're learning something new here. I thought this would be easy enough to put it all back together, and decided it doesn't want to go back together. I don't know about this airbrush, but I know in the Patriot there's like a little plastic thing in there. Trying to see what's in there. Okay, where are my tweezers? Sorry, I put the one camera down. Had to get to my. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yes, I couldn't think of the name of it. I don't use technical terms for anything. Hey Ken, what's going on? I just call them hootsy watsies and thisy watsies and that. Technical terms are no fun. I know what it was. It was my stupid white thingy there. Some came off and I didn't notice it. You just seen me stab myself. You might not have, because I was off camera. I can tell you what, this needle is super sharp because I just stabbed myself with it. There we go. Now we're unblocked. Here's another thing. If you go on Amazon, Acinix, excellent set of tweezers. Very sharp. They're made for electronics, but you can use them for our stuff. Just be careful. They're very sharp and you'll stab yourself, just like I did, except I stabbed myself with the needle. All right, now we got the clog out. Next up is put it back together again. With no technical terms. That's a good thing to know, that you could get it back in there, because Interstellar Modeler had that problem. He popped that thing out. I was like, dude, put that thing back in there where it belongs. I've never taken that out. Never touched it. Just to take out the major components and that's it. Now I can put it back together now that I got what I got stuck in there out. And remember, bubble to the back. This is the part, like I said, that I hate the most on an airbrush, is that little thing right there. Can't stand that thing. I never do it right. Come on. There we go. There we go. So I was wrong about that again. Still can't remember what that's for. I wish I could remember the technical term. Galaxy Stranger might know. This little guy here, I never remember what this is for. I know you can adjust it I think it's for trigger pull, tightening this off. I always keep mine, I know you can adjust it for a different feel. I always keep mine all the way up, always. But I don't remember exactly the name of it or what it's supposed to do. There you go. I like that. Screw thingy is the best term for it. But I know reading on the Patriot 105, all the Badgers have that piece. I just don't remember why you can adjust it or you can keep it all the way down. I just keep mine all the way down. Now we got it in. Now that I unclogged my clog, and there we go. We got our pin out again. We'll hand tighten that down, and that's it. All right, guys. Now just give me a few minutes. I'm going to put the protection on there because I don't want to bend the needle. And then we're going to come back. I'll find a piece of styrene or something that I could put up, and we'll see if we got rid of the bubbling. Hopefully we did. If not, we'll figure it out and get it all done up. So give me just a few minutes. Yeah, it's definitely for the spring, Spencer. It's just I don't remember what the spring does. If it's for your trigger feel, if it makes your trigger looser or tighter, like on a handgun or a rifle or something like that. But I always keep mine tightened down. I never really felt the difference of keeping it loose or anything like that. But we're gonna go with Galaxy and keep calling it the screw thingy. All right, dudes. Do me a favor. Just I'm gonna go to the break screen. Just hang out with each other, talk to each other for a few minutes while I get rid of empty this out, put it to the side, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Hold on. All right, we're back. Was anybody chatting away? To my knowledge, all the Badgers are put together. So yeah, they are pretty much all put together the same with a few very slight differences in them. Like the screw thing is a trigger. That's what I thought it was for softer. That's what I thought it was, like a gun, like a real gun. You can make your trigger harder and tighter. I always just crank mine all the way down. So anyway, we're back. I'm gonna take my air hose off the Patriot. Ooh, don't drop the Patriot. Now I gotta get another airbrush holder. Now that there's 3 out here. Now that there's 3 airbrushes. Let me put the chrome on the side for a second. And we're gonna see if this thing will work properly. I had Kelly? Cal? Can you do me a favor? Can you give me a couple pieces of printer paper? If you don't mind. Thank you. Very kind of you. Hey, what's going on, Ken? How you doing? I'm back on the YouTube, buddy. I was trying to Twitch for a while. I'm just waiting on a piece of paper, a couple pieces of paper from the wife. This way I can put some paint in here and we can test it out. It's going to be loud because my Badger, whatchamacallit, air compressor is constant air. It's not a tank, so you're going to hear blah, 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 all craziness. Thank you everybody for stopping by. And here comes the wifey. Thank you. I'm just going to put that there. Let's see if we can adjust the camera. It might be a little upside down. No, that's too far. That's too far. I just had a line run from the garage into the attic, and it's a big run. I know what it's going to do. It's not going to want to focus on white, is it? Yes, it's the show of Kens. Many a Ken here. Now let's see. It's not going to focus on white, probably. Ah, there we go. There we go. All right. So guys, I'm going to kick in the air compressor. If it's, that shouldn't be too loud, but if it's too loud, let me know. I'll mute the microphone, and then you guys can just chat amongst yourselves. I don't know why this cap is so tight. My other ones just pop right off. Actually, the chrome doesn't, it comes with a rubber one. There's airflow. There is airflow. All right, I'm just playing with the knob, setting it back a little bit. But I definitely have airflow, so hopefully we don't get any bubbling up in the cup. Yes, Ken is a very good name. Many a Ken. Oh, we know one thing's working. I'm just hoping, Mark, we don't get any bubbling. Thanks, Chris, and nice to see you from London. So let's see, what is it? Oh man, it's got to be like 1 o'clock in the morning there, or 1 o'clock for you. I'm going to do Saturdays also, Chris, probably around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So this way, you know, hopefully people on my other coast in California and across the way on your side of the world can see the yeah, there you go. Yeah, close to midnight. Can see the shows. I'm not going to put a lot in here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to waste a little more than that. This way I can see if it's bubbling or not. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah, I got to make some more videos and stuff. Get my videos back up here. Frankenstein will definitely be a live video. I do have a few videos up on Frankenstein. All right. Now, Mark, quick question. I'm going to find out myself here in a second, but when you were just holding, yep, there we go. We're bubbling right up. That's interesting. Bubbling and spattering. So we know that it's sealed. I'm thinking I know the paint's not too thick because this is pre-thinned. I have no problem shooting it through my other airbrushes. Oh no, we don't want everything coming off. So we got ourselves a dilemma here. This shouldn't happen on a... This shouldn't happen at all. Where's the wrenchy wrench? Mark, we got a dilemma. Uh-oh. What happened? Did I lose the live feed? No, I think... No, we're still live. I lost my... I lost my dashboard. I hope I didn't lose anybody. Wow, that thing I hand tightened and it's... Yes, you are. I hope I'm still live because my computer just went down. Okay. No, you didn't miss anything. That shouldn't be doing that, and this shouldn't need a Teflon seal or beeswax on the Sotar. Come on, wrench. Come on. Now, I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna do something very stupid. Okay, it's not. Something it has to do with the front cap. The seating of the front cap, because now it's just I'm letting the air just flow out without the back pressure. So I actually may end up having to put Teflon tape on here and see if that'll stop the airflow backwards. I shouldn't really be doing it like this, but I'm going to end up having to clean the airbrush again. So that little piece in there actually may not be good. This thing was cranked down, and actually on the Sotars they're only supposed to be hand tightened. You're not supposed to crank them down. I'm thinking the cap inside here might. I'm gonna go a little bit, but I'm not supposed to do that. I'm actually gonna have to. I'm gonna have to ask Ken. Now that sucker's cranked down on there. I have the feeling it's this little piece here. I have the feeling it's not sitting in there right, or something. What I am gonna do, those threads actually, the threads look a little beat on there. So I'm all painted up. What we're gonna do is, because there's definitely a problem. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this one was tight too. That's as tight as it's going, both of them. See, we're all trying to figure out why this sucker's bubbling up. Because Marc actually sent this over to me, and he was having the same problem. Trying to see if there's air escaping there. I don't want to keep cranking it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of Teflon tape on here where people usually do, or the beeswax. I want to see if that does anything, because we can only tighten so far before we break it, and we don't want to break it. Very expensive airbrush. Alright, just give me a second, because the Teflon is huge. that much of this. Where did I do with it? There it is. I'm gonna have to cut this. Teflon tape. Beeswax is a lot easier. We're gonna try everything. I should have left it on there. This is tiny. Alright, where's my thing? We're just doing this now just for giggles, to see if it's an air leak right there. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to break anything with tightening them down way over tightened. That's too much Teflon tape. Now I'm just goofing. I don't even think I'll be able to get it on there with that much Teflon tape, but hammers are always hammers and duct tape, Mark. Now let's see, will Teflon tape do the trick? No, it will not. That is not it. It just keeps coming back up into the cup. I think you guys are right. With that, hey, Mantis Models, how you doing? I'm not tightening more, Galaxy. It's as tight as it can be. I'm not breaking this thing. The arc welder. I've never had any. Now I have the 105 and the chrome. I don't have this problem at all. But Mantis saying it was worked great with the smaller needle, but put the bigger needle on and no paint comes out and it bubbles up. So what I'm going to do is dump this paint and let's switch out needles and see if that does the trick. And then I can take the Teflon tape off. Where do I want to pour this? Well, that's what I was looking at before, the nozzle tip. That's what I was thinking might have been the problem there. But now I'm curious with Mantis Models saying that the different size needles act different. I want to see if that's the deal too. So let me do that. Let me swap out the needle. It would be very interesting if that's the case. I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Now we're going to lose paint here. Alright, needle swap. Needle swap it is. No, never throw a Badger out. Yeah, no, now both needles are I'm thinking with whatchamacallit, what Spencer was saying. I'm thinking the nozzle is damaged somehow. Something happened, because this is not either needle. It's still doing the same thing. The brush is totally clean. We got Teflon tape. We tighten these down as much as possible without breaking them, because we don't want to strip anything. So now it's going to have to call upon the man Ken from Badger and see if he knows what is going on. This may actually end up having to go Badger for repairs. I might order. I actually might order the little thing that goes in the nozzle here. I have the feeling that might be the problem. Ow! That needle is so sharp I just stabbed myself again. Okay. I don't need Teflon on here anymore because we know that's not it. And Galaxy wants me to tighten this thing down so hard that it snaps. I get to run it through the... Man, that thing is so freaking sharp. Nothing. Nothing at all. So that was a bust. I'm definitely tighten. How tight? How tight am I gonna go? I can't go any tighter. Look, it's where it's at. That's it. It goes no further than that. That can go a little further, but that's that. That is that. I'm definitely gonna have to get a hold of Ken and see what he's gonna tell me about this. All right, so I'm gonna drop this over here for now because that's gonna have to get cleaned up. I'm gonna end up cleaning 2 airbrushes up. Oh my God, you're killing me, dude. You're not even trying. No. That's at the Teflon O-ring. No, I got the chrome. This is the chrome here. This one. And I also have my Patriot over here, but Chris said he's seen the Teflon missing. I never played with the Teflon stuff. So it's been a while since I used this guy. I want to make sure it's not me. There we go. This one's spraying fine. That's how the other one should be spraying. Draw a little man since we've got paint in here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to. I'm gonna see about the seal when I'm gonna clean it and take it apart, and that'll be that. And then we'll see. I'm just wasting paint now. Yay! So it is an abstract painting. Yeah. Yeah, there's not even that much paint in here. But yeah, I love the chromes and stuff. But we're gonna take the other one apart in a second again, and I'll show Chris and see. Oh. See, getting dry tip already with the black. Yay! I'm just messing around now, so I want to get rid of all the paint. Yippee skippy. I'm gonna sell it. Sell it to you, Mark. I definitely love the Badger airbrushes, but let me clean that up. Let me stop messing around here with this paint. I'm going to clean up both airbrushes. I'll clean up the other one first, and then you guys can tell me where that Teflon thing is supposed to be. We'll see if it's actually missing. If it's missing, I don't know how it would end up missing. Yay! So much paint wasted. Put this on the side. Put this on the side, pull out this thing, and we're gonna break it down again. Because I really never looked, I've never taken, oh sorry, I'm real close to the mic. Oh, that's a light. I've never really looked or taken out that Teflon ring before. And I'll get rid of this stuff that we're goofing with. And we'll clean it, and then you guys can point out where that piece is. Because if that's the piece, I could just order that piece. No, I've never touched it. Never. I've never ever touched that piece. Never had to. There was no reason to. I just dumped it in here. Yeah, there was no reason to touch that Teflon piece. Like I said, Interstellar Modeler took it out one time by accident. He was actually cleaning his airbrush, and somehow it popped out. And he was like, "What is this?" I was like, "I know it's some kind of ring. Just put that back where you got it from." You know what's weird about this thing? Where did my thing go? Airbrush troubles. So Mark, we're gonna get this thing fixed somehow. Okay, see, now that's weird too. There's something up with this airbrush because Mark sent it to me, he cleaned it, and he only hand tightened everything. Did you get this off of Amazon by any chance, Mark? Because if you got it off of Amazon, I've heard some stories of the them sending out like broken ones of these. Like people used it, sent it back, and they ship it out broken. Because this is happening twice. I know. I'm sorry, I keep going off the screen. I know Mark didn't put this thing all the way crazy, tightened down with a wrench, and now before I just hand tighten and it's doing it again where it's like super tight on there. And this is where I got to be careful again and hold it without ruining the threads. It's gonna piss me off. Alright, because Galaxy had us tighten this down super tight, buddy. That's okay. That's okay. We were trying to get it. We were trying to get it working because he was having the same problem that I'm having right now. That's why he sent it over to see if we can do anything with it. I'm gonna go in there. And this is, I don't know why this part here keeps doing that. It's locking up. Not good. Not good at all. I'm trying to keep on camera here, guys. I need a wider camera. Breaking it all down again. Let's get this back. Let's get that back up there. And be very, very gentle. Like I was before. Holy cow. This thing just does not want to come off right now. Sorry I'm not talking, guys, right now. This part's not making me happy. This is twice it did it to me, and it should not do this at all. And I really don't want to touch the threads and ruin it. Sorry, quiet, guys. Could be something plugged up in the... Possibly. But I just cleaned it. Marc cleaned it. Cleaning it again. Now, where were you guys saying the Teflon is supposed to be? Because none of my Badgers have a plug here. That's just to thread it in over there. I thought the Teflon plug was up inside over there. Hold on. 1 second, Spencer. We're having a... Oh, man, we're running an hour 25. We're all trying to figure this out. Where is that tiny air valve you were talking about? The tiny air valve, Ken, is this one right here. And that goes at the bottom over here. Okay, so you know what? I'm really thinking, yes, okay, there you, I'm sorry, I missed your answer. You did get this off of Amazon. I'm telling you, you got a bum. And I'm going to tell you why you got a bum one. Because there's, I know you didn't drop it. There's damage here. You can feel it chopped up over here. This is definitely not right. How that paint is coming off here. Whoever used this before you used ammonia or some other stripper in here, which stripped the black powder coating off here, and it also stripped the coating off where you can see the I think it's, I forgot what type of metal they use for these, but you can see the bare metal in there, which you're not supposed to see. This is pretty chopped up on the side, but also over here, these marks over here on the side, somebody was doing something, jamming that thing in there. And look at that right there on the back here. That's not going to happen. That's not happening from this thing here. There's another ding mark over here. So that's what I've heard about Amazon. People will order them, and then they'll throw them. You know, they'll mess them up, and then they'll throw them back in the box, and then Amazon just ships it back out to the next unwitting customer, which is not right. Definitely not right at all. So it's not the airbrush. It wasn't you, Marc. Teflon goes onto the threaded part that comes out of the main head part where it goes into the body. Hold on. The Teflon O-ring goes onto the threaded part that comes out of the main head part where it goes. Okay, I get you. Had to read that a couple times. Where is it? Oh, it's funny now. There we go. So I'm assuming that you're talking about this piece here, Chris. Yeah, they do that a lot, Marc. You get a lot of bum stuff. But I'm assuming you're talking about this piece, the main head part where it goes into the body. There's supposed to be an O-ring or something on here. I've never seen that on the Badgers. Okay, we're gonna take apart another Badger. Oh, this won't have that though, because this is a different type setup than that. Damn cat hair. This is a different setup. This is an easier setup. But there's no ring here. So I'm thinking we got beat, Mark. Oh, you got beat on it. That you can definitely tell somebody used this before you, and I feel bad. That's kind of messed up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email Ken. Gonna let this thing clean itself again. Let that clean itself again, and then I gotta clean the chrome out. These can stand on the side. This is garbage. This is garbage. Let that clean. I want to go wash my hands because I got paint on it. It still stinks. Still not fair. So you guys can watch. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna throw you guys onto. If you look on spraygunner.com, they have a photo breakdown that shows the part. Let's see. You got good eyes, man, to see that on video. There's no way I would have seen that. Let's search for the Badger Sotar 2020. Airhead. That's that. Yeah, the parts are pretty cheap for the Badgers. They're not that expensive. Actually, you know what? Schematic. Here we go. Sotar 2020 schematic. Let's blow that guy up. 210. Yeah, there's that 2110. That's the part you were telling me about before. And that definitely is. I don't see it on the airbrush, so I'm thinking you're right. That could be the part. But this was definitely a used airbrush before you got your hands on it, and that's not fair. No problem, Mark. Get home safe. I'm letting this run. I'll be back in a second. I want to get this stuff off my hands. It's kind of crappy. And thanks everybody sticking with us and trying to help us solve the mystery of this thing. Chris, I think you're right with that part. I don't see it on there. That may be missed. That's probably missing. Plus the mishandling of this thing from another person that had it. So just give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Got the stuff off my hands, which is good. So, I gotta clean another airbrush. Gotta clean this one. I gotta clean another airbrush. I'm gonna order that part before I send this off to Badger. I'm gonna order that part. put it in, see if that works, and if that works, we're good to go. It just stinks that Mark bought this off of eBay and it was not as described as a brand new piece of equipment. I haven't had that problem myself. I ordered my Patriot and my Chrome not off of eBay, off of Amazon, and I had no problems with them. So it just, Mark was unlucky and he got stuck with a pre-used airbrush that should have been unused. I mean, should have been brand new. So I'm just going to be cleaning this stuff up. So that's, we're not really going to be doing anything else. So you know what? Omar, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, you're an hour and 34 minutes late to the party. My wife is over there. When are you getting off? When are you getting off? Yeah, look at the face. Look at the face. She's saying, when are you getting off? When are you getting off? It is Friday. Friday. Friday, good times Friday. All right, let's go over here. Boom, 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 boom. We'll go over here, and then you can see me over here, because I'll probably go off camera anyhow, cleaning up. Hey, what's going on, Gadgetron? We've been on for, oh no, please don't tell me that it's gonna buffer. Bureau clock. I'm hoping it's not gonna buffer. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. We were trying. Mark, a lot of you guys know Mark Shu. If you got here late, so you won't see his comments, but a lot of you guys know him from Facebook and all over the place. He had ordered a Sotar 2020, a Badger Sotar 2020 from Amazon, and he was getting bubbles in it, and he cleaned it. I cleaned it in the ultrasonic cleaner and all that good stuff, and he got the bubbling, I got the bubbling. So I started looking over the piece more, and if, for you guys that just showed up, I'll go back to the other screen and hopefully it doesn't buffer. Let me go back to the other screen on the workbench. For you guys that just showed up, if you can see down in there, hopefully, let me I don't want to do that. Let me try to block out some of the stuff so it focuses in there. Okay, you can see there, it's not in focus, but you can see where it's shiny at the bottom. So somebody had this, I asked him, did he use ammonia or anything like that in there? And he said, no, the brush came like that. So somebody used ammonia or something that pulled off the powder coating on the airbrush. So this airbrush was pretty much abused before he got it. And if you noticed over here, it looks like the paint is coming off, and it shouldn't look like that. Badger does a really nice job of keeping everything really nice. So unfortunately Mark got roped a little bit on this one, and so if Chris is still here, I'm assuming that little piece goes in here or around the other edge. Just sucked. I wanted to get it working, but I failed. But at least we all had a good time trying to figure it out. And where's Galaxy? Galaxy just kept yelling at me to tighten it down, tighten it down. Meanwhile, I had it all the way tightened. He was having a little bit of fun with me. And then it should go in there. Okay. I wonder if the person that had it before Mark decided, hey, you know what? This airbrush doesn't need that piece. Let me just take that off. Now the only problem is, do they label? They should label them. This isn't labeled. I don't know if this one's labeled. Just looking at the needles, get them evened up. That's another weird thing. It doesn't even look like it comes with the two different size needles it's supposed to come with. They look exactly the same, but there's no markings on them. Like I like my Crescendo, it has a different type of lines on there, so you know the different needles. But these look exactly the same. You talking about that 90-something-year-old guy that jumped in? Yeah, that was cool. There's a comment on the part page at Sprague's describing. Okay. Did they mention by any chance how they resolved the issue of the bubbling? We're right now. Consensus is with Chris. We're going with the Teflon. The only thing I don't like too is like before you seen when I got this airbrush from Marc. Stuff is really, really tight on it, and it shouldn't be. See, Marc's not here. I was going to ask him how long he has this, because if he doesn't have it that long, I would return it to Amazon and tell him they gave him a used broken airbrush, and either get his money back or I'll get your money back and then order through Badger. They lost the ring while cleaning the airbrush and replacing. Okay, so we may end up just ordering that part and seeing if that fixes it. I'm still a little skeptical on the brush with how things, like if I'm changing needles, I don't want to sit there and have to try to get needle nose out just to unlock the thing, because that doesn't happen on either one of my other brushes. They're just hand tight and boom, you take it off. Yeah, they gave him a used airbrush. Absolutely used airbrush. You can tell just by the color cup, because he should have like this. This is used. This is my Badger Patriot. I use this all the time, and you can even see like that's how the inside of his should look, except black, like perfect. This is perfect. You can see at the bottom a little from scrubbing where I took it off, but his is all messed up at the bottom. So somebody put that thing through the ringer, and unfortunately Marc was the unlucky recipient of getting that airbrush. So hopefully I'm gonna Facebook message him and see how long ago he bought it. If he didn't buy it that long ago, and ship it back to him and tell him, look dude, get your money back, and then if you want this airbrush, order directly from Ken over at Badger, and then you'll be all right. Yeah, I'm hoping he's still within the window of when he can return this airbrush. I don't remember how long you have to return, like different products are a different amount of time. Wow, I did not expect to be streaming for almost 2 hours. Not bad, not bad. I'm not putting paint back in there. No way. Not until we get this sucker fixed. Hey, what's going on, Greg? Look at that. The later I'm staying on, the more and more people are jumping on here. All we were doing was trying to figure out why a Badger Sotar was not working, and with the help of everybody here, Chris, Spencer, Galaxy and his tightening, we figured out that one of the Teflon pieces is most likely the culprit and missing, but also there's more problems with this airbrush. It was used before, and there's tightening issues. You guys see me, I had to use actually flats to try to get the needle out. So I'll text Marc as soon as possible, and hopefully he's still within the window to return it, which I'm really hoping he is. And if he is, oh guys, also, where is it? While we're on the subject of Badger, hopefully he's still in there. If you do order Game Envy, thank you for your support. These are the hobby holders. Okay, if you guys do order, watch the video yesterday from YouTube member Otako on a budget for bubbling cup. He suggests using beeswax lip balm instead of Teflon tape. Yeah, I didn't have any beeswax left. I don't have any of that. I know like the Burt's Bees and stuff like that, I guess. I was looking for beeswax. But yeah, I just threw some Teflon tape on there to see if it would help out. But if you guys order from Badger, my friend Lynn Stahl, she runs Metalhead Minis. If you order anything from there, Stynylres, if you use Stynylres, or if you want to order an airbrush, hopefully I can get this on here. I'm looking over at the screen to hopefully get it in place. And also their paints, Model Flex. You can use the code Metalhead Minis and you'll get 10% off your order. So just remember Metalhead Minis when you go to Badger, and you'll get 10% off of that. And if you guys are mini builders, like miniature, like 28 millimeter, 30 millimeter gaming figures and stuff, these are hobby holders from Game Envy. And if you go to gameenvy.net and you use the same code Metalhead Minis, you'll get 10% off of there. So she gave me these cards, and you can get we'll be doing 10% off on those. So, and if she has any more codes or anything like that, I will let you guys know. This way you can get a little money off. Grocery shopping. Are you going to Publix? I love Publix down in Florida. It's one of my favorite places to shop. Don't worry, I'm going to be back on tomorrow because I forgot what I was going to do. I was actually going to go on Twitch tomorrow, but I think I know I'm done with Twitch, and I'm going to be doing all my live streaming on YouTube here. I was going to do on Twitch tomorrow, I was going to do making leaves with the punches and coffee stuff. I may do that tomorrow, but I'm going to jump on here tomorrow and do more and more live stuff. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, Publix rocks. I love Publix. They got good stuff. The one by my mom is beautiful. That thing is clean. Great, I have to work tonight. Had the weekend. Oh, okay. I'm probably going to jump on. I want to jump on between 1 and 2. This way it gives the guys overseas a chance to jump on here, and it also gives the people on the other coast a chance to jump on here with us too. This was only supposed to be a quick, like 1 hour stream, just to try to get this thing fixed, but we were all talking and trying to work on this thing. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with my other airbrush because you don't need to see that one being clean too. I'm going to be doing another thing too. I'm actually going to steal this from my friend Lynn. My kid's rabbit needs food. Going to the pet store so you can take care. Yeah, I got to get a hold of Marc with the Sotar. I got to feed my animals too. Be in the middle of finishing up Iron Man. Oh, cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to steal from my friend Lynn. She does Twitch, and she's got a decent following over there, but she has these things called Metal Bucks. And it's part of the program I use, but I'm going to call them Space Bucks because I have Sci-Fi Annecy over here. And what it is, for the amount of time you watch, you earn these bucks. And they're just part of the stream. And the more buckies you earn, the better chance you have at, like, we're going to have a raffle the last Friday of every month starting in August, and we'll do giveaways. And how you get into the raffle is the longer you watch, the more of these space bucks you'll get, and you'll be able to put them into the raffle. But I'll explain more about that when we get to it. But it's just another thing to give back to the community and have fun and keep you guys engaged and on the chat and everything, which you guys have been doing a great job tonight. You know, oh my God, when I was on Twitch, there was like 2 people watching me. Nobody would talk. Eric, he's here as Rascal. He would be one of my only people. We had a couple people watching, but not a lot. So that's why I'm back here with you guys. You guys are always, always supporting the channel and stuff like that. So we're here. I'm going to do more stuff, and I'm running my hand through just trying to find that tiny, tiny, tiny head. Where is it? There it is. That's the last piece of the airbrush. And even this little thing, which I don't want to lose, it's really hard to see, but this even looks cocked to the side. Now, Twitch is all gamers. And like I said, there's a lot of mini builders, but even them, they don't get that many people watching their streams. I know, I can't. That sucker even looks a little bent. Oh, that's a lot of bent. That, I don't know if you guys can, that is so small, I don't think you guys can see it, but To me, it looks like from this position, it's bending down this way. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me see. Because it's so small and the focus on here, but it definitely looks like it's bending down. So we'll put this together. So what's everybody building out there? I know we have an Iron Man build. Believe me, I try to watch everybody's stuff, but we have so many people that post videos. Like, I try to watch as many as I can all the way through, but sometimes, you know, I'm at work, and yeah, it's really hard to see. And I'm at work, so I got to skip through to your main parts and see what you got going on. Yeah, that sucker's bent, man, because it's not, now it's not, it doesn't sit in here right. Yeah, I feel so bad for Marc. I'm really hoping he can return this. If not, I'll email Ken, tell him I'm gonna ship it out to him and see if he could fix it up and see what's, you know, get it all in working order, especially with the tightness of this stuff over here. It's not fair. Not fair at all. What do we got? I finished up the Hulk diner. Yeah, that Hulk. That Hulk was huge. 1970 Plymouth Superbird and old Revell B2 Advanced Bomber. Jesus. What scale is the B2? I'm working on the 1/128 scale. CC. Oh, it's still on the Seaview. Yeah, and sorry guys, I haven't been around too. Klingon Bird of Prey. Well, been a while because it's been wet and humid. Yeah, that's not a good time to be spraying. I haven't been around also because I don't know if you all know, we're actually working. We have a book and it'll be out by December called Building a Galaxy, and the first book is all Star Wars Bandai kits. Millennium Falcon, A-Wing, B-Wing, X-Wing, Y-Wing, and Snowspeeder, and there's going to be two versions of the B-Wing, the Comic-Con version and the regular version. Mark Dunmore's building, Dana is building, and TJ Holler's building. I'm editing, and Morgan Dean is doing, I know you don't know a lot of these names if you're not on Facebook, and Morgan's a professional layout guy, so he's going to be doing that. But that's why I haven't been around a lot too, because we're working on that, getting that ready, and trying to get it out in time for December, or maybe even a little earlier than that. So if you are on Facebook, just put in the search bar Building a Galaxy, and you'll find our page. Our page and our group. But what I am going to be doing is we are putting up a website, and we're not going to do pre-orders. It's kind of like a pre-order. What I'm going to do is put up kind of call it a placeholder. You put $1 down on the book. We're only going to run 500 at first to see how many we have, and then you put $1 down, and you hold one of the books will be yours. So you definitely have. Yeah. Well, I want to do this stuff too, you know. I don't want to abandon any of this. But we are focusing on the book. Hopefully all the builds will be done by talking, I messed it up. We'll be done by August, and we'll have everything to the printer by mid-September, well, October, and then have the books in hand. If we have the books in hand by November, they'll go out on sale in November. If not, it'll be the first week or the first couple weeks of December it'll be out. But we'll definitely have it out. So I'll have me and my friends there. We'll have our first book out, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we'll be as soon as that one's done, we'll be working on the second book, which will be, the first book is the Rebels, the second book is the Empire. I have to build and paint. If not, I'll go cray cray. This is true. I just finished the NX-01 Enterprise by Bandai. I was just a little Oh yeah, why are we I didn't even know Bandai had an NX-01. The book is going to be available worldwide, Chris. I do a lot, I do a lot of reviews for green strawberry. I was talking to Lucas, B2 at 1/72nd scale. That thing is huge. But Lucas said he'll take books and sell them on his site for me. This way, for you guys overseas, it'll get to you quicker. And we're trying to save you guys money on the import and stuff like that. But if it doesn't work out, the shipping will be a little expensive from the States. I want to try to keep that down as much as possible for you guys. And look at this, I'm doing this whole thing off of the camera. You guys got to yell at me, get on camera, get on camera. Oh, I didn't know dinner's ready. Should have told me dinner's ready. Dinner's ready. So once I'm done putting this together, I see my dinner is on the table, waiting on me. We're gonna eat dinner, and then we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. Marc is here, the insane man, the UK man. How are you? Bloody hope so. I'm building for what I want. Well, you're definitely getting more than one, Marc. You know that already. And here comes, like I said before, the worst part. The worst part of putting this damn thing together is always this. You'll definitely be getting one. There's that. Okay. Be getting more than one. What's going on over here? I just didn't meet any expectations. I just don't care for. Oh, it's a pre-paint. Yeah, focus on the camera. Thanks, Omar. I didn't know they had a pre-painted NX01. Well, you could always take that, pre-painted one and paint it. See that damn humpy piece? I hate this piece right here. This thing pisses me off so much. They got to come up with a new invention for that part right there. Have a good night. Enjoy your dinner. And I will be on tomorrow at some point. See, now that even, there's something wrong with the thread in there because that skipped a thread when I was just trying to put it in. Okay. At least most of the video I was on camera. Doing the camera action. Alright, we're going to shove one of these in here. Hopefully it makes it all the way through this time, which it did. I'm going to lock that down. Okay, that came open. I'm going to put this away. Let's get the cap on there, and then we're going to get a hold of Marc. Not crazy Marc Dunmore over there. He's going to go all stabby. Omar, have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Night, Chris. Get some rest. It's very late. Very late over there. I'll put this over here. We'll put this over here. And this. And where's the little wrench? Because I want to make sure everything is back in this box. It seems as though I have lost it. How did I lose it? I don't know what I did with it. I lost a little wrench. See, it's all Galaxy's fault. He had me tighten and I lost the wrench. It's around here somewhere. I don't know where, but it's around here somewhere. Alright, fellas. Well, thank you very much for sticking with me and trying to help me figure this thing out. I'm going to go eat dinner. Oh, I found the wrench. It's right here. We're going to get a hold of Marc, see what's up with that, and see if we can get him refunded. There he is. It's all your fault, man. Tighten. Alright, guys. I hope you have a good night. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with us. And look at that. 2 minutes short of 2 hours. And if you're around tomorrow, I should be on between 1 and 3. So take it easy, everybody, and I shall see you all soon. Bye-bye.